Hey, digital trailblazers. It is Leah Ray Getz, and I'm super excited to talk to you about how to create a very basic but accurate launch plan. How do you launch a brand new program? Maybe you're just at concept level or idea mode so far. How do you go from idea mode to $10,000 in revenue in 90 days? So through 12 weeks, 90 days, what would that actually look like? Because I've recently spoke to a lot of people. They've got some big goals. They want to get things moving quickly. So I feel like while it's possible to do this in a shorter time frame, um, I feel like a 90-day time frame is probably more feasible for most people. So that's what we're diving into today. 10K, 90 days. This is for a coaching slash course program. Okay. So as you jump on, let me know you are here with me today. I'm super excited to have everyone with us, and I'm curious as to where our best people are at. So I want to have some fun. The energy's been a little low lately, ladies and gentlemen. Ain't gonna lie. I want to have some fun with you tonight. We're gonna go over some numbers. We're gonna go over really, really specific stuff. So, like, literally, if you don't have a pen and paper handy, you're gonna be wasting money. Like, you're gonna be missing out on huge opportunity. So don't let that be you. Let's have a good conversation. Why don't take some notes in the chat? Comment as we rock and roll here so that more and more people can find this in the wonderful algorithms on all of the different platforms, which require engagement for that to happen. And then I can give you better and better stuff because the more interaction I get from you, the better I get, the better my energy is, and the better I can serve you and use your examples to do great. So let's dive in. I would love to know, number one, where you're watching from tonight and or today, I guess, if you're some of our folks over in the Australia, New Zealand area, and also what is your type of offer? Like, are you a life coach? Like, how do you help people? A lot of people have joined our sphere, are just getting started, and they have sort of maybe a generic direction where they're going, but they don't have it fleshed out. They don't yet have the specifics on what they want to do. So that is going to be obviously important and part of the 12 weeks. So we'll definitely incorporate that. But yes, let me know where you are, what's going on. Let's dive on in. So 12 weeks, 10K. All right. Does that, number one, do those numbers make sense for you? Like, would you like to see it um, less, more, shorter, faster? Comment. Let me know. We'll go through all of that because I'll show you how to make adjustments. All right. Based on your situation, where you are, what you're looking for. Okay. So we're going to start out with just week one. Okay. And there's a lot to get done in week one. And for some of you, you'll crush it and you'll get all this done. Hey, Ada, welcome. California. I want to be a coach real estate agents. I love that. We've definitely had some of those clients. That is fabulous. There's a huge opportunity with that. There's a lot of people in the real estate world who need help. They need to learn how to find clients, how to really serve them well and increase their own revenue and all of that stuff. So there is definitely an opportunity for that, Ada. So that's awesome. All right. So week one, okay, we got to get some details flushed out. Okay, so this week one is laying your foundation. Some of you will do all of these things in week one and boom, 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 you're ready to rock and roll. Most people are not going to do all of these things in week one, but I'm going to lay out for you what the plan is, and then you're going to have to condense it according to what you can handle and what your timeline is, how much time you have to put towards this and everything else. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. I'll give you the numbers and how to adjust as appropriately. Oh, good to see you. Good to see you. You guys should all let StreamYard know who you are, because it's always hard. Because if you guys don't let StreamYard know you, then I just have to guess who you are. That's all right. Okay, so let's start writing down. Get pen and paper ready for me here. Okay. Number one, you need to do your research. Okay. I need you to do some research on, you need to verify demand. Okay. Hey, Mike, good to see you. 90-day plan would really help. Okay, fabulous. All right. So Mike, pen and paper, let's rock and roll. Okay. Step number one is research. Okay. In the research, what you need to do is verify demand. Are other people selling this? And do they seem to be profitable? Have they been selling this for a long time? Um, who are they? Who are they selling to? What are people looking for? Go to Answer the Public. That's a website that kind of shows you what people are searching for and looking for. Look on Amazon for books on your topic. Look on Udemy for courses on your topic. See how many reviews they're getting. See how much action is going on in that space. That gives you some good insights. There's good stuff there. Like, are people interested in, yeah, learning how to be a better realtor? Are there books on this topic? Are there courses and other people selling things and memberships on this? Yes, there are. I absolutely know that. So verify that there's a demand and really pay attention in all of those places that you're researching. What specifically are they looking for? What are people talking about? What are they asking for? What questions are they asking? What goals are they seeking? What are they doing? Okay. Start to understand what's going on in their minds, what they're reaching towards, and also what they're running from. Okay. Or they're wanting more information about, because all of that is like gold to you. That's going to help you create an amazing program. It's also going to help you sell that program. So take a lot of notes as you do that. So comment, let me know, have you started any research yet? So Ada, I'd love to know if you've done research. Oh, Tina, there you go. Good. All right. So yes, have you researched yet? And what has that research told you? But here, from that research, this is what we need you to do right away. Okay. Let's define exactly what the offer is. Now, I'm going to say create the offer, but I don't mean sit down and record a bunch of videos and PowerPoints and be behind your desk for 6 months, because clearly that's going to get you past that 12-week thing. Okay. So we want to really push this. We want to just create an outline, figure out who you want to help, the specific person. The biggest challenges, oh, good. We're going to leave Magnet Mike. That's good. The specific challenges that a lot of people will have, like if they're like life coaches or transitional coaches or anything like that, they're often really broad and vague. So I challenge you, narrow that down. Like, I help women over 40 who are empty nesters figure out their encore career or something, right? So get really, really specific. See, a lot of people want to learn comics and vending. Ooh, their budgets are tight. Well, yeah, you get number, volume, and there's going to be a lot of nuances to that, Christy, for sure. So who you want to help and what you want to help them achieve. Remember, people don't pay for information, they pay for results. So what's the result or the transformation that you can help them to achieve? So, I'm going to teach them about X. Like, if you hear yourself saying teach them or learn, they will learn, right? Yes, they're obviously going to learn in this process, but that's not what you're selling. You're selling the result. So I will help them be a fluent Spanish speaker on their next vacation, right? I will help them lose the baby weight postpartum. I will help, be very specific. I help Christians stop building other people's dreams and sabotaging their own so they can step into their calling and live their purpose and their confidence. Let's show that for everybody. Catherine, I love that. Love that. And Catherine, we're working on some stuff behind the scenes. We're going to launch a faith and family podcast that will probably be pretty cool to have you on. I'm just going to throw that out there. We're not ready for it yet, but just putting that out there. And just in general, because I haven't mentioned this, guys, if any of this stuff you're like, yep, this sounds great, but I need help, cool. That's what we help with. Just type in info. We'll see how we can help you specifically. But also, if you want to be a guest on any of our podcasts, type in the word guest and I will get you the information on that, me or my team. Okay. So, all right. In addition to who you help, what you help them to achieve, you also need to figure out what the method is. Okay. And how that differs from the traditional or other options that people usually think of. So, like, if you help women over 40 balance their, lose weight essentially, but you help them do it because you actually help them balance their metabolism, reverse the time clock, and heal XYZ or whatever, right? So that maybe is your method. And that's very different than the traditional method of just like counting calories and going to the gym, right? So you have to understand how your method versus the traditional or commonly thought of method. Okay. Ooh, this is good. Alexa. Alexa. All right. I help those that are frustrated with their career and have an unfulfilled career, stuck entrepreneurs and success seekers who feel alone and are looking for a true friend they can actually trust by following proven path to walking God's truth about their life. So they may finally succeed in life, health, wealth, and relationships now. Okay. I love your mission and like what you're all about. Realistically, though, from a marketing perspective, that's really got to be dialed in. Like that should be half that size and very, very concise. So, but I get what you're doing and I think it's wonderful, but narrow that in quite a bit and you'll have a lot more success with selling it. Okay, so what are the other foundational things? Is everybody writing this down? Because I'm telling you, this is like very, very valuable stuff. Um, the second, or I guess that's what my third piece here is getting the setup created to be able to start building an audience and getting ready towards selling. Okay. So you're probably not going to finish all of this in this part in week 1, but I want you to write this down because then we're going to break this down a bit further. Okay. So you need to create a Facebook group. It needs to speak to your target audience. It shouldn't be something fancy and creative. It should be something very simple and basic that people would find if they're looking for help on the topic you help them with. Okay, makes sense. So create a Facebook group. You're going to do lives. Hey, guess what I'm doing right now? I'm going live in my Facebook group. Why do I go live in my Facebook group? Okay, because I'm nurturing my audience. I'm loving on y'all. I'm giving you good stuff to help you, whether you ever buy anything from me or not. My purpose, my journey, what I do is to help you, okay, succeed. So I'm gonna give you lots of goodies. So this is part of that for me. And for those who are struggling or they know they need more help, they're going to type in info because they're like, hey, this gal actually knows what she's talking about. I know that I could do so much faster, so much better. I could relieve all the stress and stop trying the spaghetti approach. If I actually talked to someone who knew what they were doing, let me talk to her and just see if this might be a fit. And they'll type in info. Right? So I can serve all of you. I can give lots of goodies to all of you. And then those who are ready are going to filter down and say, hey, info, let's chat. I want to talk, right? Let's see. Let me know what you do, right? Because that's our expertise. That's how we help people. So create that Facebook group, set a schedule at least once a week, preferably more when you're getting started. Figure out your content schedule for the group in general, and then you're going to do some technical pieces. You do need a funnel system. If you don't have any, I suggest convertpoint.io. That is our system. It is amazing. And we'll do that first technical setup for your lead magnet funnel for you. So head to convertpoint.io if you do not have a system figured out yet, or you don't know how to set one up. Okay. Or this whole concept of systems and lead magnets blows your mind. We have training on how to create a lead magnet, and then we'll actually set up the lead magnet for you once all the pieces are ready. Okay. So, but you need a lead magnet. What is a lead magnet? It's a really good freebie that's juicy enough that people are willing to hand you over their contact information, name, email. You should also ask for phone number. And now they're on your email list. Now they're on your text message list. Now they're, now you can market to them over time. And in that funnel, you're going to invite them to join your Facebook group because it's so much more effective. If you guys, probably most of you here are on our email list, right? How often do you actually open and read my emails? How real was I in email before you saw me on a live video? Was I just another, loud voice in your email that you were just kind of ignoring and thinking about unsubscribing because you got too many emails coming through? Then become a real person when you actually jump in to our Facebook group. And now you're on here. I'm talking to Mike. I'm talking to Alexia. I'm talking to Alicia and Catherine. I'm having these conversations, Ada, because now we're real, right? And it takes it to a whole nother level. So it's a massive opportunity. So I would absolutely, you need a lead magnet, and then you need an email follow-up sequence. This is going to nurture them. It's going to, they call it an indoctrination series, oftentimes, but they're going to get them introduced to you and have the opportunity to, move things forward and forward and forward. Oh, Mike says, you and Todd were my first mentors 6 years ago. Oh, thanks, Mike. That's awesome. Okay. So beyond the basic lead magnet funnel, I'm going to challenge you. We're going to take it a step further. And then we also need you to create a book a call funnel. Okay. With content to pre-sell them. So what is a book a call funnel? That's where someone is actually like clicking a link to book a call with you. Okay. And you could have a really basic one, which is just like your Calendly link. I don't suggest that. If you have to start there, that's fine. You're going to have to sell better on the sales call though. What I'm talking about is getting some stuff in place. This is what we help our clients to really, like, our system is beautiful that we have, and we help our clients do the same thing where they're getting a bunch of information ahead of time. So they're kind of pre-sold before the sales call so that they don't have to do a lot of heavy selling when their prospects are on the sales call. Those people who are on that sales call are qualified, excited, ready to make a purchasing decision. So the more content that's very specific on, like a VSL, video sales letter, some educational stuff, or some things, overcoming common objections. If you could get all of that created ahead of time and insert that into your book a call funnel, your sales calls are gonna be so much easier. Like when I get on a sales call with people, it's just a nice conversation. Like it's great. Whether they join or not, they're gonna learn something, and it's not like a heavy sales thing because the selling part was pre-done, if that makes sense. Okay. So those are the three basic setups that we're talking about: your Facebook group, your lead magnet funnel, and then your book a call funnel. Okay. Right. Verify for me, drop some pen emojis or something that you guys are actually taking some notes. All right. Then I need to come up with a lead magnet, Brittany, and have a schedule. I have a call link though. Okay. If that's what you have, you can survive with that, but no, you have to be a better salesperson to sell without any of that pre-stuff done. It's much easier for you if you actually get the pre-stuff done, the pre-content. There we go. Good, Brittany. I'm glad you're taking notes. Thank you. Thank you. 10. Okay. So let's kind of break this down. So we're talking about $10,000 in 12 weeks. So like, let's work some numbers to go from this, like, something, what does that mean, to an actual really specific. Do you have training on here on what goes into a VSL? Not on Facebook. That's definitely part of our paid program. That's part of our bigger paid program that we have, Catherine. But basics, right? It's really selling them on your method and overcoming some common objections. Well, there's an indirect and there's a direct. There's some different versions. But if you just put together something where you're selling them on your method, training them and selling them on your method, and then overcoming of the common objections that you hear from people or anticipate from people, that would be better than nothing for sure. Okay, so let's break this down. If you want $10,000, let's make a really juicy program. So over deliver, make sure it has tons and tons of value. I was just talking, we have a gal who got started with us over the weekend, and her program's going to have massive value, and she's going to sell for $2,500. So realistically, eventually this could be a $10,000 program. You never start there. Start small. Start, so it's still high ticket, 2,500, but you don't start selling an offer at 10,000, because you have to get the testimonials from your clients going through it. And you have to build your chops as a salesperson, as a marketer, all of those things ahead of time, at a smaller price point where it's a little bit easier to sell versus going up to the higher price point. Okay. So I think let's take $2,500 as the example. I suggest this price point for a lot of people, but making your offer as juicy as possible. So it's a no-brainer that $2,500, like, heck yeah, that makes sense. Here you go. Here's my credit card, right? At $2,500, that's only 4 sales, gets you to $10,000. 4 sales, that's it, right? And remember as well, it's not as much about the money when you first launch. Well, the money's great, and you could just rework. If you want 20,000, right? That's 8 sales. So you just rework this based on who what your goals are. But this is what we're working with because it's in the title. so, um, so 4 sales, $2,500. But the values and the testimonials. You want to get people who've paid. They've got skin in the game. You've covered your ad budget, maybe made a little bit of revenue coming in to help your business. But the real value for you in this first launch is the testimonials, getting amazing testimonials for your clients. So remember that the money is great, but it's a bonus. The true value is the testimonials. So if you want 4 sales, okay, here's the math you got to figure out. 4 sales, you typically will get 1 to 2 sales for every 100 leads. Let that sink in a little bit. 1 to 2 sales for every 100 leads when your systems, your messaging, your offer are dialed in. Okay. So that means you need a good offer, you need a good messaging around the offer, and then you also need like the systems we were talking about previously, that setup that you need to get done. That's got to be working well. You got to get that really dialed in, good copy, good, all the tech pieces are working. It's converting at every stage. If all of that's working, and if you know that that's not working for you, let's talk. We can help you with that type of info. Okay. But that's what you want to aim for. Now, how many leads? I'm curious, for those of you who've been around, how many leads are you currently averaging per month or per week or ever? Unfortunately, I think a lot of people don't ever learn how to generate leads. And so they've maybe never generated a lead, or it's been a handful, or they're just only working off word of mouth and not generating leads at all. So that might seem daunting, 100 leads for 1 to 2 sales. Don't let that be daunting. People are doing it every single day. Release that from your mind. Okay, you can do it, but you need to step up your game to be able to do it. Okay, so 100 leads for 1 to 2 sales. So if you want 4 sales, then let's just say about 600 leads over the 12 weeks. 600 leads over the total 12-week period. So let's kind of back this up and really flesh out what this means. Okay. So if you went all beast mode and you got all of your setup done in week 1, and by week 2, you're ready to generate leads. So you have 11 weeks to generate leads. Then you're looking to generate about 54 leads a week over 11 weeks to get to your 600 leads. If you take 3 weeks to do that initial setup, okay, that we laid out, then you only have 9 weeks to generate the leads. Now you're talking 67 leads a week for 9 weeks. Make sense? Let's say it's taken a while. You work full time, you got kids, whatever. It's going to take 6 weeks. And that's why I wanted a bigger chunk of time than these discussions I've had before, because I think that's a lot of people's reality. They can't go beast mode. So this is not beast mode. Okay. It takes 6 weeks to get all of those pieces and elements in place for you. Okay. Then you need 100 leads per week for the next 6 weeks to get to your 600 leads average. Okay. Now remember, you're not doing the course ahead of time. You'd be delivering this live with people as you're selling it. So this might start as a one-on-one as people are buying, or you might have a specific launch date and everybody starts on that launch date, right? And then work with a group, a cohort in a group setting. That's up to you and what makes sense for your offer. Now, if you're truly just getting started, it's not a bad idea to take on a handful, like 4 would make sense, of one-on-one clients the first time to get your chops under you and flesh out your program a bit better with them. And then you're just delivering that live with them. Okay. So how do you generate these leads? How do you generate 100 leads a week, or 67 leads a week, or 54 leads a week? Well, there's a lot of different ways to do that. So again, cue the pen, ladies and gentlemen. Let's break this down into the without ads, and then we'll talk about ads. Okay. So without ads, connect with, essentially you're going to connect with people in your target audience and invite them to your group, invite them to check out your lead magnet. Okay. Now, great ways to do this, collaborating with other people's lists and audience. So network to find people who you can collaborate with, people who have an audience that you are seeking to serve, but you don't compete with them, right? You don't sell the same thing, you sell a complementary thing. And so you could collaborate. Maybe they'll charge you some money, maybe they're looking for speakers or whatever. You could speak in their Facebook group and offer your freebie. You could be on a summit, you could be on a giveaway, you could do there's like a lot of different opportunities to collaborate with other people's lists. You could even just have them email their list about your freebie and this cool person that they just met, and look at this freebie they are giving away, right? So you have to look for those collaborative opportunities and create them. Also, just networking, because networking is going to open up those collaborations and those opportunities, but also you will meet potential prospects, potential leads as well. I just had a coaching call immediately before this, and one of our clients, because we obviously teach digital ways to generate leads and automation and ads and all of those amazing things, but I never poo-poo offline networking and all of these other things. And I've told my people, absolutely, you should be still networking online, offline, doing different things. Well, our client is doing that, and she just got a deal as offering corporate, getting into the corporate setting and doing corporate trainings and coaching, which is a huge opportunity for her. So I'm super excited for what she's doing. But that came from networking, right? So there's so much opportunity. So you can get potential leads, and also collaborate with people who can get you in front of additional leads. Okay. So online, find online networking events, go to meetups online, all kinds of different things. You can do offline, you can do chamber of commerce, you can do mommy groups if that's who you serve. Just wherever you're going, make sure your target audience is there, or it's a waste of your time, right? So make sure your people are there. Podcast guesting. This is a great one you can do without paid ads. This is where you're sharing your expertise on someone's podcast and having a great conversation. People who connect with you are going to go check you out, right? So definitely podcast guesting can work really well. Again, if you want to be considered for a guest on one of our podcasts, we currently have 2, but it's going to shortly be 6. So, yes, if you want to be considered to be on our podcast, type in guest and we'll chat and see how if that's a good fit. Now, if you want ads, how do you do this with ads? Well, work with someone. I love ads, so don't try this on your own, or you can waste a lot of money. Okay, so we work with us or someone else to help you with this, so you don't blow a bunch of ad spend. Okay, but this is where you're going to create and start a Facebook ad. This isn't going to be a fancy VSL book a call ad. There's a steeper learning curve. There's more challenges to make that work. We're talking simple, just a lead gen ad. So take that lead magnet that you offered, create an ad to get it out in front of people. And now the leads are coming to you. They're opting in on their own and getting into your system and processes. So we've got really good results for our clients getting Facebook ads, people who've never touched them before. We've got like Dita, like $1 a lead. Someone just started something, was it 2 weeks ago? Like 44 cents a lead. But even if we're looking at like a $5 lead, so your leads are coming in at $5 per lead. Okay. Which is still pretty good it still could be very good depending on who your niche is and how competitive it is to market to those people. So different niches or audiences are more competitive than others. So it might be low, and we can get you, $1 a lead. It might be a bit higher, $5. I know Todd and I, when we run ads, we pay more than that because our audience is very competitive. But let's just take $1 a lead and $5 a lead and kind of break this down. So remember, you want to generate 600 leads. So if it's $1 a lead, that's $600 in ad spend. Is that over 12 weeks? Maybe. Is it over 6 weeks? Maybe. It depends on how quickly you want to spend that. Okay. The alternative, if it's $5 a lead, okay, then we're talking about a total budget of $3,000. That's more significant. However, you're making 10, you spent 3. That's a pretty good return. Okay. So keep that in mind. Okay. So, but just some idea on budget so that you can figure out if you have some budget to work with, what that would look like, and how to calculate everything. But 2 times, yeah, I mean that's over 2 times ROI, right? For a $10,000. And this math is bad because I didn't write this part down. I didn't do it ahead of time. So that's over 2 times ROI, which isn't great long term, but for a launch where you're just beta testing everything, that's awesome because you're on your baby price. You're on your mini price, which you're going to be increasing that price after this. So that's phenomenal. Okay. So that would be kind of the budget that you're looking at. Now, for most people, what I would suggest is a combination of both ads and all of those organic things too. Because you don't want to be sitting here twiddling your thumbs just waiting for the ads to work. You want to layer in some stuff. You want to, stir the pot a little bit, get things moving in addition to the ads. So maybe you only have a budget of 600. That's all you got. Cool, no problem. Let's work all of those organic things, and then we can just leverage some, in addition to that, leverage a little ad budget. Okay. So that is how you do it. Now, as those leads are generated, they're going through your email list. They're being invited to book a call with you. They're going to your Facebook group. They're invited to book a call with you. They're warming up to you, building that know, like, and trust factor. They're invited to book a call with you, right? So at every step of the way, they're invited to take another step forward. And that's like, so you could start selling basically maybe like a month out and then start it all on a certain date and everyone starts together. Or if you just want to take on one-on-one clients to get the ball rolling, you can sell as soon as those leads are generating. Start selling and take on those clients, start working with them. Okay. You should also be calling all of the leads. This can be a mind bending thing for some people, where they don't enjoy calling leads, or they're nervous, or they're just scared because they haven't done it before. Don't worry about it. There are people who need your help and you're there to help them. So just introduce yourself, give them a call. If you're asking for phone numbers on your opt-in pages and they gave you a phone number, give them a call. Do not waste that opportunity because someone, might not move forward and they needed your help. But because you were stuck in your own head and worried about your own, circling crazy thoughts that you had going on, someone else missed out on the help that you could provide them. So call them, love on them in the Facebook group, leverage all the systems to continue to reach to them and everything else. Mike says, shiny object syndrome and imposter syndrome cost me so much time. Now I understand. Thank you so much. You're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. Okay, let's see. Alexia, I help Christians to wake up their consciousness of God's truth about their life so they may live and finally succeed in life, health, relationship. Oh, okay. That's better. I think there's probably a better way to say that. But it's headed in the right direction. Headed in the right direction there, Alexia. I like, keep going. That's not the final, but it's definitely improved. So that's good. All right. I've got 2 minutes here for questions. So hopefully you took really good notes, and now is your time for questions because I can answer them. As we're letting you guys type, put that in. I will be back next Monday, same time. It's always 7 Eastern, 6 Central, 4 Pacific time. If you have any specific requests, just type in request and whatever that is for a topic for next week. I do take requests as long as it fits, right? And then, yeah, we'll be doing that. And stay tuned. I'm just so excited about this whole podcast world. It's just going really well for us. I just really, really enjoy it. We're talking to so many, really cool people who are on a mission to help folks. And so we are launching we're right now on Spotify. We'll probably be getting on the other ones as well. But let me give you a sneak peek while I give you a chance to type out your questions. Um, okay, good. Someone just asked one. Keep going. I'll get to that in a second. So here's a teaser, ladies and gentlemen. So if you haven't seen us yet on all of the main platforms, um, like every single podcasting platform, type in Digital Trailblazer Podcast, and you will find our Todd and Leah Ray's podcast. That's the one that I'm always on, and Todd is usually on those episodes. Okay, and this is where we talk marketing and sales strategies. So you should all subscribe to that, because it will. If you're listening to this, it's going to be helpful. So we interview some amazing people who've done amazing things and have really cool strategies to help them in their businesses. So we really break down those strategies and teach you what they're doing, which is massively like gold chunks, not nuggets. Okay. Gold slabs or something. So subscribe to that one. But then we have our Success Path podcast, but we have a new podcast coordinator that's joined our team. And with Alicia, we're actually building this out further. So here's a little teaser. Thanks, Mike. Thank you. Thank you. Share the podcast everywhere. There's a lot of folks I think that could help with it. But okay, are you ready for the titles? Drum roll, right? Okay, we have 5 new podcasts that we're going to be launching within the next 2 weeks. So we're essentially taking that Success Path podcast and we're going to branch this out into 5 separate podcasts. Okay, so we're going to have the Faith and Family podcast. We're going to have the Business Growth Trailblazers podcast. We'll have the Financial Freedom and Wealth podcast, Financial Freedom Trailblazers podcast, the Health and Wellness Trailblazers podcast. We'll have the Personal Development Trailblazers podcast. So all of them have Trailblazers at the end, but all of these different categories to really serve a really core group of people and build a really thriving, amazing audience with that. So I'm super duper duper excited about all of that. Okay, the best way to ask for a collaboration. Be really specific. Like first meet with someone, like go to networking events where you can have a verbal conversation is the most effective way, especially if you're just getting started. And then just be real, like just upfront. It's harder, it's harder if you're just getting started and you're trying to reach someone who's way up here. That's going to be a harder ask. Someone who's just maybe up here, just a few steps ahead of you, right, would potentially be a better ask. Reaching out to them, connecting, the easiest way would have a face-to-face conversation, like from a networking meeting. But you can also email them, message with them, but just give them, like, show them that you're real and that you've like paid attention to their content, who their audience is. Like, hey, I loved your podcast episode on such and such, or I saw your Facebook Live the other day on such and such. I think this is so on point. I'm passionate about what you're talking about. I think what you're doing is amazing and can change so many lives. And I love what you're doing. I do something a little bit different where I serve the same people, but I do X, Y, and Z. I would love to be able to share with your audience and see if I can help them in any way. And then give them an example. So if you reach out to somebody, you want to collaborate with them, don't make them figure out what that collaboration is. Say, I'd love to collaborate with you, whether that looks, give them a list. Like if I could speak to your face, if I could do a live with you in your Facebook group, if I could, interview you on my podcast and have you share with your list, if I could be on your podcast, if I could, like, whatever, but give them a list of options so they can choose from. Don't make them figure out, like, they don't need to figure out your business, right? They might be willing to do you a favor, but they don't need to do the figure in piece, because that's mental brain power they're not going to spend. Okay, so figure that out for them and give them options. Okay, so how much do you use AI to help you write your lead magnets and website content? I think Todd uses it a bit. So I think he does all of that stuff. So that's more of a Todd question, but I know he uses it and he helps our clients with using it, especially for lead magnets. But not, like, guys, don't make your stuff just from AI. Like, add your expertise to this conversation. Do not just let AI do everything for you. Okay. Okay. Is it true that on one digital stage you can attract 1,000 new members in a paid mastermind membership? If yes, then what is the best way? That would be hard, Alexia. If you want, okay. So questions I have first before I can really answer this, Alexia, is what's the price point of the membership? Because is it a $5,000 membership, a $50,000 for the year membership? Is it a $50 membership? Because that's very, very different. And you want 1,000 new members in a paid membership. So remember our numbers, right? In order to make 1 or 2 sales, you would need 100 leads. So you'd have to go 1,000 times 100. Maybe go, and then a little less, right? Or 1,000 times 100. And then because you could potentially get 2 sales. Yeah. So it'd be a little bit different than that, but because it's 1 to 2. So that's a lot of traffic. And I don't know of, I've never spoken on a stage with that much traffic. And I've been in this industry for a very long time. Because let's just do the math on that. Yeah, 100,000 people. That's a lot of people. Yeah, that's a lot of people. So I've never been on a stage for 100,000 people. Is it possible? Sure. I don't know what Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi, when they do their launches, I don't know what their numbers are, right? But maybe they could. But that's not normal for average people who are just putting on summits and doing podcasting and doing different things. So while I want you to dream big and plan and see yourself doing amazing things like that in the future, maybe you create that stage. Then that's your vision for 10 years from now, 5 years from now. But don't think that. But I don't want to set you up to think that that is a quick fix that's going to do this for you anytime soon. You would have to create that probably yourself. So I just want to set the stage, if that makes sense. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope this was helpful for you. Okay. This is so much fun. I enjoy you, especially when you're talking to me and I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. Yeah, so that's what kind of names we're talking about. So Catherine says Jamie Kern Lima launch was 260,000 live. Unusual. She also had Oprah promoting for her and Brendan Bouchard. Okay, so that's the extreme guru level, the Oprah level. If Oprah is promoting you, you could do it. Yeah, that's hard. So aim for that. Have that on your vision board, your 10-year board, something like that, where Oprah's promoting you. That would be great. But I don't want you to look at that as sort of like a lottery ticket. That's a shortcut to the work that you have to do now to eventually create that kind of opportunity long term. Branding is tough. Maybe you can do a session on that. Oh, branding. Yeah. I'll see. I'll have to chew on that because I think people get stuck on branding and it's like, just go out there and do stuff. The brand kind of comes together. The more you help people, you figure that out. I think people get stuck on like doing branding like it's their colors and their logos. And it's like, I could sell what we do without any of that stuff, like, because it's everything else. So I'll have to chew on that one a little bit, Mike. Do you use a live streaming service for going live? I do. At this point, but for many years I did not. I just went live natively in Facebook. And I'm not sure if StreamYard is going to still be available in April when the changes come for going live. And so if they're not, I'll just go live natively in Facebook and it'll be fine. But that's, StreamYard. I have an affiliate link, so if you want it, just comment for it, and I can get that to you. But it allows me to multi-stream. So right now, if you go over you find Digital Trailblazer on X or Twitter, you'll see the same live. If you go over to LinkedIn and see the Leah Ray Getz on LinkedIn, you'll see this live. If you go over to our business page on Facebook, you will see this live. My personal profile, you will see this live. Our YouTube channel, you will see this live. So it allows us to get additional reach. Now, our peoples are absolutely in our Facebook group. So we'll always go live on the Facebook group. If I'm in a situation where I can use StreamYard, I'll send it other places. I'm not always like that though, because I might be on a trip or something and I just go live on my phone and keep it simple. But y'all have to join the group because this is where the fun happens and where I get to know people and we have good conversations. So awesome, ladies and gentlemen, have a blessed night. I'm going to go get ready for bed because I go to bed early and get up really early. But I will see y'all next week. If this was helpful, please let me know that it was helpful. Drop some comments, give some hearts, loves, reactions, whatever. Share this. And if you're like, well, I want to share it, but it's in the group, no problem. Go to my personal, like click on my user in Facebook. It's on my personal page. You can share it from there. Okay. Have a blessed night, guys. I will see you soon. See you next week, 7 Eastern.